me, and we didn't get to finish it, but we started Raya, the Last Dragon.
Nice. No.
And yeah, those were good. I was gonna watch Free Guy and Artemis Project or whatever the other Ryan Reynolds movie is, and Free Guy I still need to see, and Batman I still need to see. So got a busy week ahead of me, and that's pretty much it. Bought my Steam Deck finally.
Bought it?
Bought it, yep, and waiting for to see when that comes in. And I'm super excited. Can't wait to do that live. I'm gonna do a live show of just unboxing it, like first thoughts, just right out of the box. So super excited to see it.
Did you say when you were gonna get it?
No, they don't tell. Like that's the thing. I've been looking around in my emails and stuff like that. From what I've seen online, is that you have, if you when your number is called, if you have Steam Deck, you have 3 days or Steam Deck pre-order. You have 3 days to buy it, and then I think after the 3 days after that, it ships. So I should have it next week, sometime next week. So, but my problem
Nice.
is that they've been using FedEx, and me and FedEx don't get along.
Oh boy.
I don't think they get
Yeah.
along with anybody.
You bought it when? What day was it?
Monday.
The 21st yesterday?
Yeah, I bought it like as soon as I got the email. I was in that car, like we were going somewhere, and I was like, everybody's like, "Chris, how you been? How's work? How's Florida?" I'm like, "It's good." Trying to get the numbers
Yep.
in.
You're gonna get it Tuesday.
That's what you're calling? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Indy with the call out though. All right. Well, for me, I just been pretty much the same. I just finished beating Horizon finally. So finally got done with that. Very good. Loved every second of the game. I didn't complete it. I did a lot of the story. I did pretty much all the story, but I did not do a lot of the side quests and things like that, just because, as I was telling Yendi yesterday, that game is very large, so you can definitely get lost in that world very quickly if you just, you can play that game for hours. And I just have so many other games to play. I just wanted to know what was happening next in the story. I did find that out, but definitely worth the time. Great game so far. Um, Obviously, I haven't played Elden Ring, so at the moment, Horizon's going to be my game of the year. It's because I mean it's the only game I really played. So I haven't really played anything else. So at the moment, it will be number one. But and then I've been watching some movies. Obviously, Oscars are on Sunday, so been catching
Dang.
up on those. I know, right? It's already done. I'm almost done with my Oscar marathon timing. So that means I think I have like 10 movies left, and then I'm done. So
Do you have any idea of what you want to win? Anything like any category so
what?
far?
Yes. So I think for I know for animation, I'm gonna say a movie called Flea is gonna win, just because it's very different and it's like a animated documentary, and
Mm-hmm.
it's less of these like comedy, like a comedy. It's less of a comedy and more of a like a drama. And I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like one of those innovative movies that they're like, oh, this is so different from the others that we're gonna make it win. So I think it's gonna win. It was really good though, definitely worth the time checking out. And then the other categories, I also want Will Smith to finally win one. So I'm really hoping he wins one,
For King
even though
Richard.
I don't think he had the best performance. But I think they're gonna give him the "You've been great for this long, here you go" award. So I think that's what's gonna happen. But I'm excited. I'm actually gonna try to do a video of some of my picks. So be something
Nice.
like quick, just like a quick pat pat pat.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's it. And then I mean next week we finally get Moon Knight and then Morbius. So be prepared, Chris. There's
Oh, I'm
so
not. I'm
much
not
to
too
do.
excited for Morbius.
Well, it's fine if
I
you
had
don't
that.
do it.
I had that pit in my stomach that I had for Carnage, where I'm just like,
No.
I gotta go see it because of what we do, and at the same time, I'm like, but I
Yeah.
hope I like it. Um,
Yeah, that's coming out soon. So the thing, yeah, it's gonna be a nice going into April, which is kind of crazy because we're already 4 months into the new year, and it feels like it really doesn't feel like
my birthday's coming
it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feels. I
yeah,
mean, all of our birthdays essentially, but yours is first before.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the
Oh,
show,
real
guys.
quick. I wanted to
Oh,
mention. Uh, I don't know if you get. Well, yeah. So Bree's family has come down quite a bit, and has met my friend group and everything like that. And I just want to shout out my buddy Michael. And to Yendi too, there was some small reminders that as soon as I landed in Massachusetts, that that reminded me of you guys. So I walk into her aunt's house, and I look to my right, and there's a cruise photo, and my eyes locked with my buddy Michael, and I sent him a Snapchat. I'm like, I flew all the way to Massachusetts to see this guy, because I did not expect to see my friend on like the family like picture thing. And then I go into the kitchen, and kitchen counter's completely clean, right? They have a wine bottle sitting there, and it was the Snoop Dogg wine bottle. And they're like, it's so good. It's so good.
Speaking of Snoop, he's gonna
be in Warzone.
Yeah, go check him out in Warzone because Snoop just is the best person at keeping himself relevant, and we love every second of it.
It's just funny to have those moments where I have reminders of friends where I'm like, oh God.
That is hilarious. All right, so getting into the show, let's start off with our first topic, talking about Fortnite. Finally getting rid of building for a short period of time, of course. They're not going to be... Huh?
I just read the host questions, but go ahead.
Yeah. So Fortnite decided that they're going to take out building for the first 9 days of the season, which started Sunday, if I'm correct. And basically, a lot of people have come back. I've seen a lot of streamers who weren't playing it have now started playing it again. So just saying that they've been enjoying that, and pretty much there's no like real details. I didn't really pull from a story. This is just more of a observation kind of thing. So I was just wondering your guys' thought. And the first question on there was, will Yendi finally download it, being that they have taken out building, or is the hatred still there? Is it too much for you to even go back? Or, I mean, not even go back. You haven't played at all, right?
He's played it.
Me and Chris, Chris and I tried to do the triple.
And I knew, and I knew that game one because we got paired with bots. I'm not gonna lie, right? The stream knew that I was cheating, not in the game, but that we had bots. Like, you know, it's been a while. It's like Fortnite's like, oh, it's been a while. Let's put some robots in there, right? And I told Yendi, I was like, if we lose this game, that's it. There's no way we're gonna get this check mark. And sure enough, we lost to something stupid. I think it was the storm. Like, we were just in a weird spot. And we couldn't, you know, we both suck at building, and we lost. And then we spent like 2 hours trying to get a game going, and it just wasn't working. But yeah, go ahead.
I think we played. I think we gave it a good go. I think at least 3-4 games. I tried to stay open mind. I tried really hard. I didn't build once. I'm sorry. I think it's stupid. This is kind of cool now. There's just pure aim, right, for 9 days. So I'm not gonna go back. One, because the download is huge. It's gonna take a long time. I'm not gonna forget about it, just like I have with the other 4 games I have on my desktop that I recently downloaded. But that's good. That's good that they're trying something new. I'm hoping that they make this like a separate playlist, possibly. Even though I doubt that, because it'll segregate the player base, kind of like the issue that PUBG had back at the time. Too much segregation, but I really hope they keep it around. And who knows, if they have a mode where it is just plain guns, no building, and none of the other BS that they have, like these crazy grenades and stuff like that, just pure gunplay, I might download it in the far future. But this is not really something I'm interested in, honestly. But for those that do like it, hey man, go ahead. More power to you, right?
He's gonna download it.
He might. I mean, you got 9 days for the first 9 days. So
and
let's see what happens.
Also, I disagree with the whole like segregation thing, because it's all right now. All these streamers are coming back. Tfue, all this, Jack. We've been asking for this for a while, and it's a breath of fresh air because the game is fun, right? It looks great. It plays great. But it's just stressful going into a game knowing that as soon as you shoot somebody, then you have to figure out a way to build the Taj Mahal while getting one shot off at a time, right? So with that being taken out, these streamers are enjoying themselves. They're loving it so much, and some of them have said that they hope that building doesn't come back, which it's going to, because it's a skill. It's a skill set. That's why I look at it. So it was one of those games that, um, building was just something you had to learn, and if you couldn't get it, then you couldn't play the game. And I think this is their way of getting people back. They're testing it out, and then I think it will have its own mode of no building, and we'll go from there. For the grenades and stuff, I would still enjoy some of them to be there, like the definitely the grapple hook thingy. There was a plunger gun. Um, I've seen some people drop shields, but it's like a car part, so it's like they drop it and it's like a hood in front of them, so they can drop a shield in front of, so like a wall to protect themselves, and that's about it. But they can't build up into the sky or anything like that. So I'm definitely, it's already downloaded. I just downloaded it before the show, and I'll be trying it after the show because it's just something that I have to try. I mean, I was, when Fortnite first started, I was on it quite a bit, so trying to get better and I couldn't. But yeah, so now it's just something I've always wanted, and it's just something I'm like, okay, well, I can't pass this up. So.
Yeah, for sure. I do. I, as a person who have just watched Fortnite, I do think it's interesting that they were just watching people play Fortnite with the mode now, the building now taken out. I do notice how much faster paced the games are, and I think that is one of the things that might be the biggest draw for them is the fact that these games are now not as long because you're not, like you said, Chris, in like, 5-minute gunfights where people are just building, and then depending on how many resources and mats you have, you can literally just, you'll
Hide
be
or keep
building and then
building or
shooting and then building and then trying to shoot down like structures and stuff like that. But I do also agree with you on the sense that that is a skill set. I just think um part of it is also what Yendi said. I'm interested because since Fortnite has gotten so big, especially when like their prize pools and their tournaments and stuff like that, I am interested to see if they're worried about making this other game mode and having how would they do their competitions, kind of, because you do it, like you said, you do have a skill set in all those people who do know how to build. So I don't know if it ever gets taken out completely. I also think it kind of takes away from its identity if it does take away the building, because it's always been that game that has that building. So I do think, though, this is a step in that direction of trying to get a new game mode, because I don't think they necessarily care about where you play it. I think they just want to make sure you're spending money inside of Fortnite.
yeah.
So if you're spending money, whether it's in a building mode, whether it's in a non-building mode, I don't think they really care about that. They just want you to make sure you're getting the game and playing it as much as you can and buying every skin, every detail that you can, so that way Epic is constantly making money. So I do think we'll see this in the future. I do think it'll get a positive enough response, especially when people will see a lot of the sales and stuff like that going on. So I do think we might see this in the future. I don't know if how close, but maybe the beginning of the next season they might be like, here's the permanent version of this. So I do think I do it is a cool thing that Fortnite does try to constantly stay fresh, and I do think it's nice that they do throw in certain ideas and stuff like that. I mean, and it also helps that they always get the rights to all of the school cool skins or whatever is relevant in pop culture, because I think they also added Doctor Strange in this one. So you just got a bunch of like, they always have, Doctor Strange, Batman, and it's its own little universe running around there. So it is interesting, but it's just not for me. So I personally won't be playing it, but I'll watch people play it.
I'll let you know how it is.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, you guys pretty much answered my next question, which was do you see this being as like a non-building mode? So I definitely do see it going that way. So Yandy, do you see it in the future just becoming like a separate mode, or just
No, because again, I think the separate playlists will segregate players. That's why they couldn't do that stuff with PUBG, because some people were selecting certain like point of views, like for first person or third person, and then one of those playlists would be empty, and then you would be forever loading in a server queue, and then it would take forever to find the game. I mean, obviously, Fortnite has a bigger audience, but I still think having that would hurt it in the long run. But if they make it permanent, I wouldn't be surprised either. People seem to love it so far, so.
yeah,
It's a cool
yeah,
idea,
for
man. Like
sure.
I said, they're trying to bring people back.
Hmm. Yep. And like I said, they always keep it fresh. So it is cool that they are trying to find ways to bring people back, because I do think we're on the back half of battle royales now. I
It,
think finally
you
we've
know,
gotten to that point.
as much crap as I talk about Fortnite, one thing nobody can deny is that they do indeed keep it fresh. There's
Hmm.
always something new. There's always some kind
Always.
of event, some kind of character or IP coming into it. There's always new, and that's pretty impressive for a game that's how old now? Like,
Yeah.
was it
I,
2018?
yeah, it's
No,
pretty
before
dope.
that.
It's
But yeah,
mhm.
good on Epic Games for keeping this alive. So, yep.
I mean, it is also one of their biggest money makers. So I do think keeping it. It came out in 2017, July 21st of
Dang,
2017.
really? I actually
Yeah,
thought it was a
and
little bit later, to be honest.
the battle royale was later because the battle royale actually showed up in September of 20 of September 26, 2017. So,
Yeah, before that, PUBG was the biggest thing in the in the
oh yeah,
gaming world.
it was
Oh yeah,
huge.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we won't get those, but we did see a game that like it is crazy because you see a game that like Fortnite that does keep that IP, keep it fresh and stuff like that, and then you see a company like PUBG that just they did try to like keep things fresh and stuff, but it felt like sometimes they took a little bit too long, and then it kind of like you just saw the companies literally go the opposite way, and it's kind of crazy because nobody's playing PUBG anymore and people are still like active on Fortnite. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I
If
mean,
you
to
would have
me, I
said
think it
that
was
when it
like
originally came out, it would have been like, nah, PUBG would have won this. But
PUBG though. For me, was like I knew it was gonna get knocked off early because of the how it looked and how it played. As soon as like something came smoother or anything like that, I was like, this game's gonna be over with because everyone's gonna be like, oh, I'm playing battle royale and this is way smoother. Um, Imagine if Super People took over PUBG. Like if Super People came out first, then I think people would be on that game all the time. That's what we wanted. When me and you played it, we were like, I wish PUBG was this.
Yep.
And it
Yep,
was, yeah, I can't wait to
yeah,
get my hands on that game again, man. I don't know, excuse me, when
Yeah,
it's,
that one had 4 million players during its closed beta, which is
mm, a lot.
impressive.
yeah,
I'm excited for that game to come out.
yep.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely something that we noticing, especially with the battle royales, is just keeping it fresh has been like one of the main key stays, like making sure it's something that people do want to come back to and stuff like that. Which, but like I said, for me, I feel like we're finally getting to that point where I don't know how much more you can do in a battle royale. I feel like this is one of Fortnite's biggest moves that they could do. So I don't know how much is left after this. So I'm interested to see where they take it off after this. But
I
we,
think the next biggest thing is Escape from Tarkov style games. I
I
haven't
just
played one
think,
myself, but I think that's the next big
People
thing.
want, yeah, a little bit of a harder like survival looting
Or
thing,
well,
but
well, there'll be some game that comes out and puts a really different spin on it, and it'll
the
take
th-
off, and then people will copy that.
yeah, the thing is, it's
That's
just
what PUBG was.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because of
Yeah.
World War Z,
So
and but the thing is, it's also like accessibility. I think it's one of those things, and I feel like you like hard games, and I mean we're seeing it now with Elden Ring. Like I feel like hard games, and I feel like Tarkov is that harder style of like survival and kind of like thing, and it's a little bit more like intricate, and I feel like that's not enough to get like more common people to play it, if
well,
that
that's
makes
what
sense.
the cycle is for. That's
Hmm.
for not as realistic, but it's the same gameplay loop as
Yeah.
Tarkov.
yeah.
And I guess depending on how well the cycle does, I
Hmm.
think this new genre, if you call it that, will take off. If it does well, then I think we'll see a lot more games and developers copying that same formula, and be getting some crazy new games doing the same thing, but with crazy stuff in it. But
We'll
I'm
see.
excited to see it. I have yet to play a game like that. Oh yeah, Modern Warfare is
Modern
another
Warfare
one.
2 is going to be the game that
That might be the one that kicks it
starts it
off if
off,
the
yeah,
cycle doesn't.
with getting it in everybody's hands. So,
Yeah, I'd need to play one of those games. I haven't tried Tarkov. I haven't
Mm.
tried the cycle yet, but I want to at least see what it's about.
Yeah. I've always watched Dr. Lupo play Tarkov and not understand what was going on. I
I
just know
still
like
don't understand.
yeah, I feel like he's going to do something and I've watched like plenty of hours of
People
of
explain it to me
gameplay
all the time, but
and
I
I'm
just
just
watching it. It's like,
and it's
who are
like
you
that
shooting?
mix
Are you
of
shooting
yeah,
bots? Are you shooting a real person?
yeah. And how do you know? Like I just feel like that yeah, so I'm interested to see where what that next free to play kind of style game is going to be. So I am interested to see that. All right, moving on to our next topic. CD Projekt Red has announced.
Oh, hold up.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, oh,
So I was talking to Guy today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday,
yes.
Guy.
Happy
Happy birthday,
guy.
guy.
He says he listens to this podcast.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, Guy, text me back and tell me that you heard this episode. If not, you're a little bitch. All right.
Well,
Happy
he's
birthday.
not. He's. Oh, so you're saying for the future to text you
Yeah.
back?
So if he really listens to it, he'll hear this and he'll text me.
So this segment
do
right here is
know-
for Guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do know guy
text
listens
me,
to debrief though. So.
No, actually, never mind. I won't say that. Just text me. Tell me you're not a little bitch.
But yeah, he has told me that he's listened, so I believe him.
Oh man, thanks.
Especially
for the support.
debrief. I know he listens to debrief for sure. So.
Oh, well,
but,
I mean,
yep.
he'd be perfect for that show. Just
Why
saying.
hasn't he been on? What's going
We're
on?
working on it. We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it. Let's. I got some
And,
ideas.
and
right?
Rob, I
got
know
some
you
ideas.
watch or listen.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
listen. Got ideas.
We
We're
could talk
coming
about
out,
the
okay?
Matrix with Rob. That's one of the funniest conversations I've ever heard.
Oh my
from him.
gosh.
Does he not like the Matrix?
Which one? I don't know which one he doesn't like.
I think it's the second one.
Yeah, but I don't like the second one either.
Well, I think it's the pole scene or something like that. He said it ruins the whole
God, it
franchise.
looks so
I don't
bad.
remember. I'm not going to put words in mouth. But I
Yeah,
remember him like being
That
very,
whole scene looks terrible.
being very, like can you say? How can you say? He was pretty heavy on that scene, and he like
It's bad.
Yeah,
All right, when's the last time you've seen it? The only good
I
thing
saw
about
last year.
Matrix Reloaded.
it's all
was
three
the,
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, the only good thing about Matrix Reloaded was that highway scene. That highway scene was fantastic. But going on to our next topic, CD Projekt Red has finally announced a new Witcher game, not to be confused with this being Witcher 4, because they came out and made that be very clear as soon as this was announced. Reddick, basically, he's the global PR director, and he let everyone know we have not announced that this is called Witcher 4, and we have not announced that this is going to be an Epic exclusive, because for some reason people thought that this was going to be like an Epic exclusive title, that it was only going to be available on the Epic Game Store, which
Why?
I don't know how that came about. I didn't read the full
I was like, what?
details on it.
Like, is it what?
Because they're using Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
Unreal Engine
Epic's,
5. Oh.
Epic has invested in development.
Yep, and that's where we were going to get to with the story. This comes over from The Verge. This is by Chem Gartenberg. He says CD Projekt Red has announced that they are working on a brand new Witcher game, which will kick off a new saga for the franchise and the first new mainstream title in the series since The Witcher 3, which released all the way back in 2015. Which seems insane to me how long that game has lasted, because we're almost getting to a 10-year mark with that game, and it feels super fresh to me. But
What
I
the
think that's
hell?
because the DLCs were really good, even though I didn't finish beating those. But I digress. The biggest news, however, is that the upcoming game will see CD Projekt Red switch over from its existing in-house Red Engine, which Red Engine, which the company has used for over a decade, to Unreal 5 as part of a multi-year strategic partnership between CD Projekt Red and Epic Games. So this is why people thought that this would become a Epic game thing, which, depending on that contract, they might not want to announce it yet, but sometimes they will get stuck with situations where it has to be exclusive. But
A lot can
we'll see.
happen in the time
Yeah,
from now
exactly.
until it releases. So
Exactly. So I know a lot of people are like, well, they're saying it's not, but remember, people were saying the same thing about Starfield, and you see where that headed. So despite that partnership, it says the next Witcher game won't be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and CD Projekt Red will continue to use Red Engine for some current projects like the upcoming Cyberpunk expansion too. Beyond that, however, CD Projekt Red is making a point. Note that no further details such as development timeframe or release dates are being provided at this time, and about the new title. Given the length of development times for CD Projekt Red games, it could be some time before we get any more information. So, getting into that, I know you guys both played it briefly, Witcher 3, or I know Yendi just said he finished watching the series. So, how do you guys feel about Witcher finally being announced that they're coming out with a new game?
It's gonna be it's exciting, man. I know a lot of people, because of the show, it's giving him that itch to get a new game. This is probably the first game that's being announced with Unreal Engine 5, right? Because the only other announcement we got from Unreal Engine 5, that was the thing that they showed on PlayStation, or Matrix showed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
a big one.
I'm excited to see how it's gonna look and how it's gonna run on that engine. I think it's gonna be the whole Epic thing. I don't know if it's a good idea for them to do that, because of what's been, they've been hurting for the past couple months, and I feel like it's just not a right move.
Yeah, you can say that for as far as like consumers, but as far as a company, guaranteed money is usually better than prospect money. So like, yeah, you can say, you know, that it might not seem like a good idea for them to make an exclusive, but if Epic is shelling out a certain amount of money that you know you're going to get just for working on the title and making it an exclusive, then I do think like that's when decisions get made. I'm not saying that it's going to, because I honestly don't know. Again, like the works of those details, I don't know. It does say one of the important words on there is partnership, and not like, outright buying the company itself. So that gives me more of a thought that it will be still multi-platform, because if it is a partnership, I think with partnerships they work just a little bit differently than actual like ownership. It's not like Epic now owns CD Projekt Red, but I do think with those kind of partnerships, and we've seen it all the time, that you will get some kind of exclusive for getting it on Epic Game Store. Like there's going to be something that you get extra because they're going to want to bring you towards them for sure. So I don't know if it's whether that's a time release thing, whether that's some extra DLC or whatever, but there's definitely going to be something that comes with getting it from the Epic Game Store. So
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, again, like this article said, it's going to be a long time before we hear anything.
Oh
Usually,
yeah.
yeah, usually with CD Project Red, they like to take their time unless they're
Because they didn't say
being
well
rushed.
underway, right? They just said, "Hey, we
No,
just
no,
started development."
yeah.
Yeah,
They
so 10
basically
years.
said what? Yeah, they basically said what GTA 6, what Rockstar said about GTA 6. Kind of like, yeah, it's official that we're making it. I do think there's been start like that. There is a start process. They've already gone some places with it, but of course, we're CD Projekt Red likes to take their time, and I think especially after what we saw with Cyberpunk, I think they're going to be more about pay attention to detail. So I think we might wait even longer. I don't know how long that time frame is. Maybe we'll get something interesting. But Yendi, what are your thoughts on New Witcher game?
I'm excited. Excited, and I will hopefully finish this one when it comes out in 2054. That's when it's gonna come out.
Yeah, you heard it first. You heard it
Yeah,
first.
I mean, look, just reading from the article, Cyberpunk 2077 was announced in 2012.
Yep.
It got a teaser trailer in 2013. It
Yep.
was delayed and then finally released in 2020. So
Yep.
we're quite a bit a ways
That
off.
was 8 years. I
So
mean, Chris, you might be right with your 10-year thing. So
I mean, I was
you
gonna
just
put
had
it.
10
I was
years.
gonna put Witcher 3 on my Steam Deck and see what happens. So.
You can't play Witcher 3 on your Steam.
yeah, I'm excited that it is on Unreal Engine 5. I've seen a lot of games already, not a lot, but a few games already who are running on that engine, and it looks flawless. It looks great. New tech is always good. I mean, there's gonna be some flaws, but at least it's not the Frostbite engine that Dice uses. That thing is absolute trash. I didn't see anything wrong with the red engine, to be honest, but aside from the stupid trees and grass always freaking blowing in the wind and the Witcher, I like annoyed me to no
I
end, and it
don't
was
know
just
why
feeling so
I thought you were
tiny.
gonna say they blew up in the wind. So now I'm picturing you
No.
walk through in the Witcher. Just
No, and there's I think somewhere else on Twitter somebody was saying how they don't think that Geralt's gonna be the main protagonist of this game, and
It'll
it'll be
be somebody
somebody
else
else.
in his in his family
Well, yeah.
line, basically.
If you've played 3,
I don't
you
know
would
that
understand
that
why those thoughts are being said.
yeah, and that he'll have a cameo, and
That's
I'm
what
all for it.
That's what I
I'm
was
all for
thinking.
it, but I'm hesitant as to how people are going to take that because when you talk about The Witcher, the first thing you think of is Geralt, right? So I think it's gonna catch some people off guard, like the not super hardcore fans,
Mhm.
those who know about The Witcher, know the face who is Geralt, and then they go and buy this game and think it's something like a knockoff or something. But who knows? Who
Mm.
knows? We'll see. I'm open to it. I'm hoping that CD Projekt does take its time, does things right,
Oh, they're gonna
and
take
just
their time.
yeah, for sure, and brings back the goodwill of the players, because they definitely they have to. They can't fuck this up. And yeah, as far as if you read the tweet carefully,
Mhm.
he says what we have not announced today.
Yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they're trying to temper your expectations right now.
Yeah.
It's not being called The Witcher 4
Mm.
today. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week.
Yeah.
And it's not exclusive to one storefront. I
Today.
foresee it being exclusive to Epic's for at least if it's not exclusive permanently, it's exclusive for a certain
Time-wise?
time. Yeah,
I
probably
could see
like
that.
a year exclusivity. You can only download it on PC on the Epic storefront. And then Xbox, PlayStation, and of course Nintendo Switch. Can't forget that one. Just
No
kidding.
one's
Nintendo
saying that on
the
it.
Switch is a piece of crap.
Oh my
Witcher
gosh.
3 plays great on Nintendo.
Huh?
Yeah, you're brainwashed.
What? He said he's gonna play. Please don't play Witcher 3 on a Steam Deck.
Why? I
feel
gotta
like
test it
It
out.
deserves better time. It deserves better.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait. I will probably buy it and let it sit on my desktop for a few months, and then consider thinking
Like
about playing
Biomutant?
it. Like a lot of games on my desktop, as a matter of fact, sir. I still haven't played Control. It's still
Oh
there.
my gosh.
But yeah, fingers crossed they do a good job. I'll completely forget about this,
Mhm.
and then 5 years down the road, I'll get
We'll
a
still talk
teaser
about it.
trailer, maybe. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
5,
we'll
6.
just- And then
I
we'll
think this will
reference
come
this
out-
video.
I think this will come out before GTA 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No.
you think so?
Heck
Yeah, yeah,
no,
oh, yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
You think so?
No.
I'm willing to bet.
I'll bet on it.
Uh-oh.
No
Because
way.
GTA takes even longer.
Yeah, but I think GTA.
It's more. It has more in development than.
I do
than
think
The
because
Witcher.
I do think because of two things is why I will agree with Chris on this. For one reason, they're switching to a new engine, which means they're essentially building most of that world from the ground up. So there's going to be that. And then two, I think with the combination of what happened with Cyberpunk and the fact that these games that CD Projekt Red make normally take long anyway, and I feel like GTA 6 is just a little further. Now, I'm not saying it won't be within like a 1 to 2 year ratio. I feel like once one of them drops, the next one will drop within that 1 or 2 years. But I do think GTA 6 has more work done than the
You
new
just
Witcher
gave
game.
yourself a large ass buffer.
I know, I did. That's the point. That
I
way you
still
can't be
think
wrong.
It'll come
you
out
know?
before GTA 6. I think
No,
GTA 6 is
no
even further
chance.
out.
Also, I wanted to point out that like
Oh.
looking at The Witcher One, we said like people look at it as the characters. Sorry, I'm thinking of I think back on Castlevania games and also the Assassin's Creed games. So I wouldn't mind them changing. Like that's what I thought. Whenever they're like a new saga begins, I'm thinking it's gonna be somebody else in that bloodline, and I think that'd be cool.
Well, the thing is with Witcher, like I said, with the way that Witcher 3 ended and the way that they built a lot of those characters, I don't think the fans who played all three Witchers or really enjoyed Witcher 3 are going to have an issue with it not being Geralt. I think that's going to be more of a casual thing, but I mean, there's no way of judging that because no one knows. Like, I feel like Witcher, they're always going to have their fan base who's going to get the game regardless, no matter who's in it, because it's a Witcher game and it's made by CD Projekt Red. So I think you're going to have that fan base. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough of a like if people say, "Oh, it's a new character," and then they're just going to be like, "I'm not playing it because I have to play as Geralt." So I don't know what those numbers are. I am interested to see what who's it going to be and how far along in that timeline they're going to go. So I'm very interested. I can't wait. I loved all three Richards. I love the TV show. I've read all the books. So I just enjoy that world. So give me anything in that world and I'm there. I don't care how long I have to wait because I know I'll play that game. And just like saying Witcher came out in 2015, just to think like I played that game like 2 years ago, which which is like I mean again, so it's kind of crazy that that game is still like relevant within, and I mean it's been almost 7-8 years since that game has been released. So I think they do a really good job at making those games. Witcher 3 was definitely one like a top tier game. I think they do have a little added pressure again because of the success of Witcher 3, the non-success of Cyberpunk. I think they have to get back into that light. So I think there's, having a new engine and doing some of the new work that they're trying to do here is going to be like a nice breath of fresh air for them. And I think they're going to come home solid with it. So I'm excited to see it in 8 to 10 years. But as a fan of all the Witcher games, they haven't let me down on any of them yet. So I don't my expectation is set not to be let down, especially after they did let us down with Cyberpunk. So
Real quick, Kyle Coggins said 1 to 2 years. LOL, most safe prediction ever.
thank
What
you.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Thank
also here's another question. Okay, do you think this game will be on current gen, or do you think it's going to be next gen exclusive?
You see, and shout out to Kyle, by the way. He was on the ranking of the Marvel shows, Marvel movies. So that's him. And yes, just so you guys know, that's my bro.
Hey.
But I don't think it will be. I feel like if we get to the point where a next gen console is going to come out, and which honestly would help Yendi's point a lot, right? Because if they do a time exclusive and it comes out and it has to be bought from the Epic store, then it doesn't matter because at that point it would just come out on PC anyway. And then you would have an extra year for it to come out on consoles if it is a timed exclusive. So maybe I feel like I don't feel like CD Projekt Red is too smart to make that same mistake again, where they're going to try to like overexert themselves into trying to make it for the following gen and then this gen and having to delay it again. So I do think the core of the game will be built on this gen, and I think they'll make sure that it is done correctly because they know if they hit it solid on this gen and everyone buys the game, then people are going to be willing to get the upgrade if a next gen console is out by then. So I think they're going to be safe with it. I think they're going to make sure they know exactly what they want before they move into trying to have a debacle like they did with Cyberpunk. So I think they've learned.
Oh yeah, I think we'll. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. What was your question? Was it going to release on current gen?
On current gen, or do you think it'll be a next gen exclusive? Like if because I'm gonna assume that we're gonna have the next generation of consoles, and I'm wondering if it's gonna do that thing where it's like, hey, it's gonna be on PS5, but also it's gonna be on whatever the next thing is gonna be. Yeah. And then also I'm gonna assume that we're gonna be in the 600 series for graphics cards, and we'll go from there. So right. Yeah,
I think it's a given that it's gonna release on current gen. Just like Alan said, they're probably they're building it on right now. They're built on PCs or architecture, right? And then they're scalable to whatever they want to set it to. So it'll be fine. I think this time they'll just take a little bit more time with making sure that the current gen console gameplay is good, right? And then they'll just upscale it from there to 4K, whatever it is that we have. But the last gen consoles came out in 2019, right? The console lifespan is about 5 to 6 years typically. The last one was a little longer. So I think that means that this game won't be out. My prediction, it won't be out till like 2027.
And then I'm going to predict Microsoft and Sony combine together and they make the X Station. And it's going to be something weird. But real quick, David Howard said, I'm ready to win my mouse. Black Magic is on YouTube, switched over. This is going to end up being the Ghost of Tsushima of the PS5 right at the end. They will drop it. Okay, I can see that happening. And David Howard also said, Al looking so sophisticated with them glasses.
Question.
Thank you.
Question
Thank you.
to you, Chris. Off of that last question was,
Yeah.
will we have a physical Xbox or will it be cloud gaming?
It'll be cloud gaming.
You think it'll be all cloud? You don't
Yeah.
think they'll have a hardware?
Yeah,
at all?
I'm gonna assume at that point I'm gonna have 2 separate rooms. I'm gonna have my console room, and then this room that you see here is gonna be my VR room where I hit a button and this whole room just generates. So that's where I think we're gonna be when this game comes out.
You just turn it on and
the
you're
meta
just in,
the meta room.
yeah,
the meta
you're in the meta room
yeah, meta room.
where you can get